Welcome to Trading Lounge, and this is the Bitcoin report for Monday the 13th of June. So this is the crypto index here, and the point that I want to make here is twofold. Is wave 3 not a problem, so we can go an A and a B and a C and have wave 4 here, and if wave 4 is here, then we can go 1 2 3 4 5 for 1, back for 2, down for 1 here, and back for 2 over here, and in this little space here it's a little bit complicated, but we can look at wave 2 here with 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then we start 1 2 3 4 5 here, and then we start going down into the next lot here. So we've either got something like that, or we will need to put wave 4 way over here, and we end up in a triangle pattern. And if that's the case, then well, there's slightly two different, well, there's two different counts there. Just to let you know, with the crypto index, just as an example, we can put wave 4 here, or we can bring it way over here and look at all of this as a triangle pattern. That's the point of this, looking at this particular index here, because it's quite balanced between Ethereum and Bitcoin in that regard, you know. So they're the two problems here, either this one or this one. That said, if we take the wave 4 from here, let's just look at the Bitcoin one for a moment. So with Bitcoin here, it's a little bit messy, but just get back into the fray here. We've got wave 3 here. We'll look at the bigger picture in a moment, and blue wave 4 here. And let me just open this up here a little bit. If we take wave 4 from here, we can go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and then start building down. We'll have a shorter journey down here. If, however, we have to go with the triangle pattern, which would see this here as an ABC for just the A wave at this point, because really that's all part of the same leg, all of this here. So that would just be the A wave to that point, and then we would need the A, B, and C for the B wave here, and then the C wave and the D wave, and then an A and a B and a C here for the E wave sitting on this point here. And if it is sitting on this point here, and that's the story here, then we need to count down here as we go. I'll do my best to get this going, but 1 2 3 4 5 for 1 and 2, and 1 2 3 4 5 for 3 4 1 2 3 4 5. So basically from wave E of 4 here, right, we'll be looking for little 5 waves down here for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. And now that would just make wave 1 at this point, and then we'd come back for wave 2. Then we would come down for wave 3, 4 and 5 at that point. If we went the other way, we'd end up a bit shorter, we'd end up down here somewhere, you know, for that. So that's what we can be looking at. And I think the other interesting thing to look at, just before we look at the bigger picture, is the NASDAQ, because as I mentioned, my best call is Wall Street is, you know, viewing Bitcoin as a tech stock. So with that in mind, I've got two counts here for the NASDAQ. This one here, which would be 1 2 3 4 5 to come down, so we've got wave 3 here. Well, we've got an A wave here, B wave up here, and then 1 and 2, and then 1 2 3 4 and 5 for the third wave. That all fits quite nicely. Then an A and a B and a C for wave 4. And then you can see here that we're coming down for wave 1 here. In this instance here, we're not finished with wave 1 yet. That would all be the third wave in here, so there'd be a fourth and fifth. I won't go into that at the moment, but the point being here is from this wave 4, we have 1 2 3 4 5 to bring us down into that low there. So that would be the same as this one here. From that wave 4, we're looking for 1, we're not there yet, 2 3 4 5. So that would be the same as this particular count here, 1 2 3 4 5. Now, the scary thing is that if it was going to be a bigger bearish count to the downside, this 5 wave structure here would just be wave 1 here. and then wave 2 here. Now that opens up another situation altogether, which I think we can look at. So as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to here, that's what we're looking at for wave 2. That's what we're looking at for tech stocks, and that would include Bitcoin at that point. Now, however, this particular count here is an ABC pattern here, can be viewed in a bigger light as well, and what I mean, a bigger pattern to the downside. So in that instance, we would be calling a much serious more top in here, and then looking down here as wave 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and then the 5 waves down that we're looking for to be finished, we would be looking at wave 1, be further down, and 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and much deeper move to the downside. So this is the ending of a grand super cycle at this point. Will Bitcoin roll into that space? Possibly, because when markets are in fear, they tend to gel together a little bit. So it is possible. So we do need to watch out for that. But at this stage here with BTC, we'll look at this count here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down into this space. And we'll track that down. So there's 2 different ways to count this down. This one is a bit deeper. This one here is up here is a little bit more shallow in that regard. And looking at it, we'll look at Ethereum in this case here with this wave 4 up there in play. So in this case, it's this situation here where we've got wave 3 here with a W, X and Y here for wave 4. Once again, the triangle pattern could also fit into here as well, putting it over here. But even if it was just at this wave 4 here, we'd look at this as 1 and 2 here, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, a nice strong 3rd wave here, 4th wave, and 5th wave coming into play. I'm not sure if that's finished or not, doesn't really matter at this point in time. Wave 3 here, wave 4 pulling back to this wave 4, at least testing this number, and once that's finished here, we would see wave 5 come down for 3, and then 4, and then 5 coming down here further for this to finish off. So it will be down at sort of 650 to 800 in that for Ethereum in that and that's that's a low edge of that. That's taking it from this top, starting the 5 waves from here as 1 and 2, rather than starting it in the triangle pattern here and looking at this as 1 and 2 and so on to the downside. So just be mindful of that. But so I want to just go back to Bitcoin here for a moment and then just go to 200 here and then the daily chart, because it's always nice to have a look at the daily chart and take it from that point. So let's just get a bit more data in here, don't need all that. So we're looking for the top there. This is the same as we're looking at Microsoft and Tesla and all Apple and all of those. They're all slightly different in their own way, but basically looking for an ABC coming down. So as you know, we've been looking at wave 4 here. The question again here is, do we put it over here or do we squash it up in over here, that sort of thing. So so that's kind of where we are. We can wave 3 was long, so we can expect wave 1 here and wave 5 to be roughly the same. So this little stick here is roughly the length of wave 1 in here, give or take, so we can put that over here. So that sort of brings us down wherever we're going to put wave 4 from. So it brings us down to this number here. If we're talking about that number, we have to talk about 18 as well in that space. The other thing that I wanted to talk about here too is just to get perspective. I'm going to here to get perspective, and let me just go to. So this is just the monthly chart. I don't have this one labeled, but it doesn't really matter. Be nice to see what the stochastics is. Stochastics is coming down quite nicely, really, isn't it? In respect to everything. So I think that's quite nice. That's good. That's kind of what we're thinking, But I just wanted to talk about this a little bit here. So this leg here, this is the first leg down, because if we're looking at an ABC pattern, we can kind of expect a bit of equality between the two of them. They don't have to be the same, but that's kind of just looking at them being the same. That brings down to 12,000 whatever at that point. So that would give equality, that length and that length. The other thing here is that talking about equality and things, is this leg here took 3 months, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this leg here as 1, 2, 3 here. So obviously we're in June and June's not finished. So it could be the end of June and anywhere between 20 and 12 in that space. When we look at the volume here as well, we can see on this bar here that it was increasing volume, and obviously this month is not finished yet as well. And the other thing here too is that most if I can just get that in there somewhere pretty close. So most of the bear markets in crypto have come down 85%. So that could bring us down, that's 78 to 80, so that would bring us down into the 85% here as well for that, of that last leg. So most of the 13 odd corrections have been around that sort of 80 to 90% area. So this one doesn't seem to be much difference in that. The question is the only real concern is the US stock market being in a situation where it could be a bigger bearish picture in that case. In that case, this could be a much sort of deeper correction, which we need to be sort of mindful of as well in all of this. In terms of how stable is Bitcoin, well, I think at the end of the day, technology always wins in the end, and the blockchain is not going away, but they go through these periods. I mean, this little bump over here was pretty much the same as this bump. It's just, it looks so small now, and eventually this one here will look like this one here. And this one here will look like the size of this, and so on. That's sort of how it goes. The question is how long, if this is just 3 bars down here and then another 3 bars down of 6 bars, does it just come at the end here and then go up at that point, or do we sort of end up with this was a long wave 1 here and wave 2 here? So the distance between here, well, basically from this high getting back to break even is a long time, isn't it? It's a long time, so, but I think that's pretty much what we could probably expect over here as well. So it's going to be a long haul for everybody, but at the same time, it's that the collection of coins, we all want more Bitcoin. So this really presents the opportunity to get, to accumulate a lot more. We're all sitting, most of us have been through all of this here, I decided to go, when I bought my Bitcoin, which was at 10,000, I sort of buying, a fair way all the way up through here. I can't remember where, I don't know where I'd be breaking even, but somewhere above the 20. But, I decided to be in this for the ride, obviously I'd like to make money out of it, but I understand that I need to go through this one, I need to go through this one, I need to go through this one. I could buy and sell, but I decided not to do that because being in Australia here, I could be up for the 30% capital gains, and I thought, should I be trading this? Should I be getting in and out? And I kind of made the decision not to do any of that with this. It's just to go on the basis that technology wins in the end. and fingers crossed that this would all happen again. But the money that I have in here is not going to break the bank. You know what I mean? I don't have laser eyes or anything like that. I'm a bit more realistic about the situation. I mean, I love new technology, and and I think it's it'll play its part in the future. But I'm realistic, and we could be spending from this being down here to all of this time across here, we could be spending that there again. I mean, how long was that previous one before that? How long was that? That accumulation process there. There's another 3 years there at least. So I think that we could be in a it could be 3 years before we get back up again. And this low here came down to this low, so to speak, a bit of a gap in there, I guess, but this one here is checking out this one here, but that's not the support just there. I mean, obviously at 20,000 will be a nice support, but really when you take all of this trend here, right, and all of this, you'd find the balance line in here, so it brings it down to like 10 or 8 or something of that nature. Will we come down that far? I don't know, but I know for myself is that I decided long ago that no matter where Bitcoin would go, I would just be in there for the ride. I just wanted to be in there with everybody else, basically, and not everybody else is going to get through this, but the people that have been through these here, they've survived. They're the ones that have made the money. They're the ones that are losing their fortunes now as well. But they know they've been through it before, and they'll go through it again, and they'll continue to go through it as it continues to build. It's just part of the process. But I do see that even if we're down here for 3 or 4 years, I've got four, I don't know, 4.5 Bitcoin or something, but I will just continue to accumulate through the bottom here. And if I can come out in 3 or 4 years here with, 10 or 20 Bitcoins coming up this side, well, that's job done, really. I'll be looking at my retirement then, So I've got 3 years down here, and it's going to be very sad down here, but just don't listen to the doom and gloomers, when there's blood on the street, that's when you need to be buying. So it's tough. I know it's tough, but if you think about it, this is your chance to have one trade to retire on for the rest of your life. If it pans out, it may not pan out, but the money that I put in here, I'll certainly like to double up on that through this process down here as well, because I know Bitcoin's not going away in that regard. It's really the biggest. It's really the biggest computer system in the world, and it's decentralized and it's scattered across the world, so it makes it very stable, and it's new technology, and in the end it will come out. It's just that we've got to go through another long cold winter, I reckon, for all of this, but we'll see. But I think it's always good to prepare yourself for that, and look at the much longer term. Like I mentioned, I've been through all of this. I was saying that I'll be in here for 10 years, so who knows, maybe longer. Doesn't matter. It just point being is I'm not getting out. Alrighty, that's that. Cheers.